The date is April 21st, 2018, and we are at Oak Grove. Oak Grove Cemetery is where my grandfather and grandmother Busick are buried.
I can't remember. Or did we go back
And so we're going to refresh our memories on where their gravesites are. We have my sisters Shirley and Marietta, nieces Diana and Donna, nephew David, spouses of nephew Mary and niece Chuck, and my brother Jim. The gatekeeper, Donna Kimball.
You know how to operate that?
Not sure.
The password is?
It folds in the middle
Busick.
there, see?
Okay.
your great-grandparents?
This is.
There's the Genesis with the Pauline's there.
Oh, okay.
So my dad, Nophal's mom and dad were Amy and James, and his brother Curtis was just 2 years older than Dad. He was killed in a car accident in 1931. That's Marvin is junior there.
Well, he was in a nursing home down the valley when he died.
Yeah. I went to the funeral, but I can't remember where they buried him at.
So nobody knows where he's buried at? I think he's buried there.
I've got,
I don't know which
I've
one.
got some stuff there at the house I need to give to you.
Okay.
Let you. No, you've got it. Didn't you take it? Make a copy. That family tree.
Pressure's on, Diana.
Yeah.
Answer yes, we'll find out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I know you did. You took it.
I better find it.
This is the grave of my grandfather's brother, Henry Sherman Busick, and his wife Alice, and I think her maiden name was Smith, and their son Clarence, who was killed in World War I. What was Elsie's maiden name, do you know?
Busick.
Busick,
She was a Busick.
in the Henry Sherman line.
Okay.
What's say?
LMA Fancher?
LMA? It's probably your cousin.
She passed on February 19, 1915.
1915.
It's only 2 years old.
She's not 2 years old. So this is not the LMA Fancher.
And then there was another one up there.
Because your dad was a William E.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I thought that was interesting.
But my sisters have trailed off over here, so. Okay, this is Belle Busick Mackey, is my father's aunt, Aunt Belle, and Shirley and Marietta remember going to her funeral, and she was a corncob pipe smoking, very tall woman. Had a great day.
Leslie and Jacob, no, different year.
Yeah, I know
So on Memorial Day weekend, we would cut pineys and bring them around to all the graves.
You could get a hold of.
Or peonies, as some people call them.
Peonies.
Our state flower.
Peonies.
But we'd come around to all these
Mom told them pineys.
pineys, yeah. So we'd pick pineys and bring quart jars of pineys and water and set them on the
There
graves.
was water here somewhere. He didn't put the water in until he got here. I don't know where he got the water. He may have brought the water, but he didn't put water in them until he got here because they spilled out all over the car. He'd get him a cardboard box
Yeah.
and set all these jars down in it and just fill them all up with flowers, mostly pineys and roses is what I remember.
Yeah.
He'd go to different people's house and cut flowers. And they'd be a big box. 6 or 8 different things with flowers in them.
Yeah, which I never thought it would last.
And as we played out here between the tombstones all day.
This is an all day affair.
Yeah, it was. We got here probably about 11:30, and it'd be 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon before everybody'd leave.
Mm-hmm.
And most of those people are dead and gone now that was here then.
Maybe some of them are still here. The Bass Cemetery.
Howard Augustus.
Howard Augustus.
Tell it to me, David.
Great. They're great. You're a great.
Is William Bass, which is
Who's this?
the father of
This is
Augustus,
This is
which makes this Shirley and Marietta's great grandpa.
So this is Sam Bass's grandparents,
my grandfather, my great grandfather, my great great grandfather.
because that's his uncle over there.
Great. Oh, it's even got that little
Yeah.
So how many greats is this for you, David?
Oh, Donna, help me out.
Four.
Okay, let's go.
Great.
All right, let's point them out.
Your great grandmother and grandfather over there.
Great.
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 That's wild.
Catherine Bass.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean-
No, you are fine. I didn't bring my phone. I guess I should.
And the next generation may have been buried in
Okay,
North
I'm gonna go grab
Carolina.
my phone. Don't
Standing in the Bass Cemetery and going back 6 generations from your mother.
That's really cool. That's what I think it is. 4 greats we have found. We can go back from your guys' grandparents,
Uh-huh.
to our great, to our great-great, to our great-great-great, to our great-great-great-great. And we've learned a lot of their relatives and how they're related to Sam Bass, the outlaw, which Bam we're related to. That's cool. I think that's
And Donna Jean, what's going through your mind?
what she said.
Yeah, bam! It's one day. I just find it all fascinating. Just the whole genealogy and lineage.
And you know, Marietta and Shirley and I have done this routine probably 7 or 8 times during our lifetimes of coming out here for funerals
this is my second time
and
to be
having
out here.
having Mom take us around and explain who everybody was. So this is a little bit different, huh?
Different, yeah.
Took the younger
I don't think I've ever been explained.
Yeah, to get the Bams in there, didn't it?
Yeah, got to get the BAMs. Established 1869 on land owned by David L. Sheeks.
Alamanza, wife of Delbert Sheep.
Delbert Sheeks.
I like how they always did the months and the days, 10 days.
Yeah.
My Aunt Ellen and her husband Reith and their son Carol. This is Albert, whose father is David L. Sheeks. Henry Clay Fields and Jemima Fields.
There's that Jemima.
Now, there's a musket that belonged to Henry Clay Fields that's in the Lawrence County Museum.
Oh, really?
There was an article in the paper about it years ago.
I have a clipping of that.
Do you?
Yeah. Henry Clay owned the farm where my mother was born and all of her siblings were born, and he died in 1928. And Ellen described that he was buried in a shroud like Christ had a shroud. The neighbor women sewed a shroud, so he wanted to be buried as like Christ as possible.
Who's this?
So
Henry Fields?
Henry Clay Fields.
So this was great grandpa Fields' father.
Yeah. So he came to Lawrence County and originally lived a little bit in Martin County before they moved up here to Lawrence County.
Okay.
and he was in the Civil War.
Oh, cool, cool.
This is the stone of Elizabeth Bass, whose maiden name was Sheeks. She's the mother of Sam Bass, the outlaw. This is Isaac Bass, is Sam Bass's brother, and Solomon Bass is another brother.
We worn out, Ellen and Addie.
We've hit the wall, but the nieces are still going for it. Yeah. They got woohoo, they were looking for more greats.
Yeah.